Make a little love, do a little dance, get down tonight, get down tonight. Ooh. So this is the fourth part of the 5-part series, and it's all going to be all about diet. I myself have struggled countless times. Literally, I've done crash diets, Mediterranean diet, caveman diet, paleo diet. I've tried all the diets, even tried being a vegetarian for a little while. In a day, you've got to do what works for you. And it doesn't matter if you want to try some random new diet, as long as it's not a crash diet and it's not going to put you at risk at all. You know, if you've got any health problems, then consult your doctor first. So diet, and how does it relate to mental health? So from all the research I can gather and from my own personal experiences, what I get from it is that when I eat healthier, I actually physically and mentally notice quite a big difference. If I go for a week where I go on holiday, I'm boozing all the time, waking up and having pancakes for breakfast, having hot dogs for lunch and fish and chips for dinner, all that greasy food and processed food. Well, at the time I got great mouth pleasure and I feel I'm loving it, obviously, because it's something I don't have all the time. But a week down the road or a couple of days, then I start to get the repercussions, a little bit grouchy, I'm a little bit depressed, tiny bit of anxiety, stressed out, feel lethargic, tired. Whereas if I'm eating healthy, so at the moment I'm exercising very regularly, stretching regularly, drinking copious amounts of water, so I'm hydrated, and obviously my diet is on point as well. I'm getting all this serotonin flowing through my body and it's making me feel really good. In answer to that question, basically, yes, I do think diet actually does make a big difference. And there are facts out there. You can quite easily go on Google, like I have, and I'm sure many people who are watching this have too. Get on Google, type in, how does my diet affect mental health? And you can read forum posts, pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of scientists who do this for a living, and they will tell you in black and white, if that's easier for you to understand, that what you put in your body affects not only physically, but mentally also. It's like, the way I always look at it is if you buy a Ferrari, right? You take it to the garage, why would you put diesel in it? It's not gonna work on diesel. It's a petrol car, it's gonna work on petrol. I understand there's probably electric Ferraris out there now. So, for them people who will comment. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't put the wrong fuel in your vehicle, otherwise it's not going to work or even function properly. If you put the right food in you as a human being, a really veg-rich diet, loads of water, consistent exercise, fruit, but everything in moderation, you're going to feel and see the benefits really quickly. The first couple of days, you're definitely going to feel it's going to be hard. It's definitely going to be hard, When I went through a phase during this quarantine, actually, the start of it. This is why it's led me on to do these videos again, because it brought me back to that place where I was, I've kind of contradicted myself. So, it happens to the best of us, but you just got to jump right back on the horse, crack on with it, and keep pushing forward. Keep kicking ass and keep pushing forward, because ultimately it's definitely going to be better for you. So, when in my experience, I was drinking like every single day, and it was just, I was waking up, every day like dehydrated, really lethargic, and it was just, it was honestly, it made me realize that I'm literally just drinking because I'm bored. So that's why I come out of this 60-day challenge, and I set up myself to do something interesting, something that I wouldn't usually do, to keep my mind occupied and busy. Because I think half the people are eating all these crap foods because they're bored. Most people eat out of boredom because they're not doing anything with themselves. So if you keep yourself busy, then straight away you're going to improve your diet, and that's because you probably won't be snacking so much. Cold hard facts, which you can obviously go on Google and find out. But there have been so many studies with regards to just changing your diet and how it can ultimately, improve your mental well-being. So for instance, there's one study I read, which was on the Japanese diet and also the med diet, which they did a survey over, I think it was like 1,000 people, I think, who they took the diet for like a year. Straight away, 35% of people said that their mental well-being improved within 6 months. That's brilliant. I think that's absolutely great. And it was, you know, some of the people said it was a reduction in depression and anxiety, and they slept a lot better, which I think is great, don't you? Cravings, right? They are the feeling of you wanting to eat particular foods. Now, the reason most people crave sugar, and you know, because they feel really low in energy, it's because their blood sugar levels are so low, their body's like absolutely craving it. But instead of reaching out for the chocolate and the sweets and the crisps and some of those processed foods, it literally, and it's all it's going to do if you eat them, it's going to send your body into like a yo-yo kind of feeling, you know. You're going to feel that real big high, and then you're going to be so depressed later, like when you crash because of all that sugar. So the best thing to do is to eat slow release carbs. That is such a better alternative. Some of that stuff is like pasta, for one, you know, some wholemeal pasta, really good. This is Fusilli, yeah, made with durum whole wheat, but really good. That's a great one. Rice is another one. I'm not eating rice, but yeah, rice is another great one. Chickpeas, vegetarians and vegans love these, but you can use them in anything, curry, salads. You can make a chili out of this stuff. Brilliant, really good. Seeds are great. Seeds and nuts, another really good alternative. And wholemeal bread, great one. Much better for you than white bread, because it's got, you know, it hasn't got all that stuff they use to keep it white, which is the loads of starch and some processed chemicals. But yeah, so guys, if you have some of them slow release carbs, your body going through that whole yo-yo effect that I was talking about, your body's going to slowly digest them, and your blood sugar levels are going to be at a more balanced level, so you're going to feel ultimately a lot better. So guys, I just want to quickly talk about a guy called Rick Roll. Some of you watching this video might actually know who he is, and in that case I'm probably wasting my breath. But for those of you who actually don't know who he is, he's a vegan, he's an ultra-marathonist, does Ironmans, he's got his own podcast, loads and loads of books that he's written, and he also does diet plans for people who want to lose weight and generally improve their lifestyle. Now, I myself am not vegan. I do like to eat meat, but in you know, smaller quantities. But the great thing about this guy is he used to be a pro swimmer from an early age, and throughout his life, you know, as responsibilities come up, kids, his career was pretty mad. His diet started to go downhill. He also picked up a drinking problem through just a bad habit over time. I mean, it's quite easily done. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. But the great thing about how transparent he is that he explains about that when he hit his 40th birthday, he was like 50 pounds overweight. He could barely run up the stairs after his kids. He was just generally depressed. He tried, you know, being a vegetarian, but it's still, you know, he just still couldn't get, he just seemed to be plateauing, you know, plateauing all the time. So what he decided to do was become a vegan. But not only become a vegan, he completely changed his lifestyle, and the fact that he decided to run an ultra marathon. Now, there's a famous marathon that does 320 miles around all the islands. And I think one of the days they do a 170-mile bike ride. That's insane, absolutely incredible. But the craziest thing is this guy, he'd never even ridden a bike. So in 2 years, he had set himself this humongous goal, which anybody would think that is completely unattainable. Well, he obviously did it. He managed to complete it. He came in the top 10, and it was the first vegan in the world to ever complete an ultra marathon of that scale. So guys, if you need motivation at all, hit up this guy. He's great. The link is in the bio below, remember. But yeah, this guy is great. And if anything, if you've got a goal to do an Ironman, a marathon, a half marathon, a 5 kilometer, anything, even just go walk down to the park, if this guy can do that, you can do it too. Guys, my tips over the whole entire video of this is start eating less processed foods, because they're full of sugar, full of preservatives, stuff that you shouldn't really be eating a lot of. You know, don't get me wrong, mouth pleasure is absolutely great. It's nothing better than a humongous steak with loads of fat, cheesy chips and peppercorn sauce. Oh, absolutely love it. Or a Mexican. I think I'm having Mexican tonight, actually. But yeah, can't wait. But you know, everything in moderation. So do not beat yourself up if you have it, but then the next day just jump straight back in with your healthy lifestyle, not a diet. a healthy lifestyle is a better word to use, because a diet sounds like it's temporary. So I personally think that calling it a healthy lifestyle is a much better way of looking at it as a whole. So 1, less processed foods. 2, drink more water. You know, it's going to lower your appetite. Ultimately, you're not going to want to eat, you know, those rubbish foods that you really don't want to put in your body. So drink more water. 1, you're going to be more alert. You're going to get more out of your exercise. Your strength is going to be up. I think it goes up by like 20%. But yeah, I mean, there's just drinking more water. The positivities are endless. It's going to improve your skin, everything. So I started drinking I think it's like the recommended daily amount, which is like 3.6 liters a day. I'm trying to get that. It's actually not as difficult as you think. Actually, the more you start drinking it, your body actually starts craving it, and you're like, I'm actually quite thirsty. But I've taken a photo on day 1, so at the end of the 60 days I'm going to take another photo, and you better see like probably some skin changes. I used to have like bags under my eyes, so hopefully they'll be gone. But stuff like this is stuff I'm trying to incorporate, and hopefully it will show you guys that what I'm implementing does actually work. A veg-rich diet. That's number 3, guys. Veg-rich diet. I personally think that when you're going shopping, when you're walking through Sainsbury's, if your trolley doesn't look like a rainbow, you need to start putting some stuff in there, bring some colour in. Peppers, apples, pears, bananas, cabbage, broccoli, spinach. Oh God, the list is endless. There's so much food you can choose from in the veg aisle. I understand it can be expensive, but if you look at the bottom, the lower shelves, rather than the higher shelves, it's genuinely more cheaper. Just have to take a couple of minutes just to really have a look at the bottom shelf, because that's where the cheaper stuff is. But it all does the same stuff at the end of the day. So no, yeah, it's all about getting that really good stuff for you. So guys, that is the end of the part 4 of the 5-part series of my personal tips for improving and recovering your mental health. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you could like, comment and subscribe to this channel, yeah, that'd be absolutely great. Thanks guys. If you would like to collaborate, please DM me on either Instagram or comment in here, or just email me. It's joshuagreentv@gmail.com. Alright guys, have an awesome day. Take care.